In this video, I'm going to be showing you why you intimidate lower vibrational beings on retention. Now, what is lower vibrational beings? Lower vibrational beings is a term for people who are not living as authentic as possible. People who are assing life, in a sense. People who go through the motions, who are not really living authentically, who are not living life to the fullest. These are what you could quote-unquote call lower vibrational beings. People who are just complainers, lazy, who are just tolerating life and not really living it to the best of its ability. Now, when you've gone on no-fap, when you've gone on retention for a good amount of time, what is happening to you is you're becoming more higher vibration, meaning you're living more authentically. You're becoming your most wholesome version, the most wholesome version of yourself. And if you're actually doing this on a consistent basis, you will start to intimidate the people who are not doing this, because you're actually, think about it in a sense of, let's talk about good and evil. The good will always outshine the evil, the light and the dark. The light will always outshine the darkness. If a man, let's even think about people who are doing the right things are more versus people who are not doing the right things are more likely to look away first. People who are smaller on the inside are more likely to be the ones to leave the conversation because they're just not as authentic, because they don't have anything to hide. The person who's always living large, who's doing the most good, being the most authentic, they're usually the ones who are pouring into other people. But the people who are living egotistical lives, they're shortcoming people, they're taking from somebody to try to gain themselves. These are the people that you would quote unquote call lower vibrational, because it's not in alignment with the Most High. It's not aligned with that. It's living from the ego. You are a soul, and the people who are more likely to live for the ego, they're more likely to shudder from the light. So when you are walking in your most aligned self, your highest aligned self, what tends to happen is the people who are not living in this quote-unquote vibration, the people who are going through the motions, who are being victimized, who are negative and pessimistic, who are not living this authentic whole life, you will intimidate them, because it's like authority. You have to think about it like authority. You have to think about it like light and darkness. In terms of authority, in terms of someone who's the most authentic, highest version of themselves, they're living more of the truth. And because they carry the truth with them, the people who are not living the truth are shuddering away from it. They're the ones who are the more moody. They're the ones who are always being negative, because they're not living. They might be jealous of the people who are actually living the authentic lives. This is what you have to realize. So what does this mean for you? The best thing that this can mean for you is to be the most high vibrational person you can be the most authentic, best version, happiest, wholesome version as possible, because then you have nothing to hide. And because you have nothing to hide, people will try to knock you off the throne. They will try to do everything to try to question your character, but you can't let it get to you. You have to realize this. You are living in the most wholesome version of yourself, and the people who are not aligned in this life, in that lifestyle, they're going to try to do everything to try to knock you off, because they know that you are becoming great, and they're not competing. This is what you have to realize. So this is how you're going to intimidate lower vibrational beings. The people who are like to lie, steal, and cheat, put down others because they're not as whole in themselves. These are the people who are more likely going to criticize you, because they know that you are better than average. They know that you're above them, because they're pretty jealous. They're pretty mad at themselves for not being able to achieve some of the things that you've been able to achieve, do some of the things that you've been able to do, because they're living vicariously through other people. They're lower vibrations. They're living egotistical lives, and this is why they're lower vibration. So you have to realize, you have to live it. You have to do everything to the truth. Everything has to be truthful. You have to live a truthful life. This is why when you tend to be on FAP, when you FAP recently, you may not be able to look at other people in the eye as much. You know, there's some people who say that they FAP regularly and they can look at anybody in the eye. Sure, go ahead. But I'm saying there's some people who, if their habits are not aligned to their highest authentic self, then they may shudder, and they're not as bold as they can be, and this is a problem. So live your most authentic life. You have to realize the things that you do in the dark will come to light. Darkest secrets are coming to light. You have to realize this. So if you have to realize that you have to do things that, if you don't want it to be on the morning's news, don't do it. You have to live as authentically as possible, as frequently as possible. This is when you can be your most authentic self, become your most authentic version, and this is when you can actually become your best version and live the truly authentic life that was already made for you. But if you're not doing this, if you're cheating yourself, maybe you're on cheat days, you're supposed to be working out, but you're not doing that. You're not supposed to be eating bad food, but you keep doing it. You're not supposed to be scrolling on social media, but you keep doing the things that you're not supposed to be doing. This is going to hurt you, especially when it comes to interactions with anybody, because you're not living authentically. You have to live authentically. The people who are living authentically will prosper. The people who are not living authentically will demise. They will come to their demise sooner or later. The life is all about the slight edge. Consistent habits compounded over a series of time is either going to create your destiny or create disaster for you. This is what you have to realize. When you're living authentically, doing all the right habits, you are higher vibrational. You can go ahead and do more because you actually believe in yourselves, because you believe in the things that you were doing when nobody was watching. I hope that makes sense. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. We will see you